18 years and I still wonder what lies beyond these stones. Will I ever know?
In the heart of an ancient forest, where sunlight barely pierced through the canopy of towering oaks and twisted vines, there stood a stone tower. It rose from the earth like a finger pointing accusingly at the sky, its gray walls covered in creeping ivy and moss. No door marked its base, no stairs wound around its exterior. It simply existed, solitary and mysterious, as if it had grown from the forest floor itself. At the very top of this tower, behind a single arched window, lived a young woman named Aurelia. Her hair was extraordinary golden strands that cascaded down her back like a waterfall of sunlight, so long that when she let it down from her window, it reached all the way to the ground below, some 60 feet down. Aurelia had lived in the tower for as long as she could remember. Her only companion was the woman she called Mother Gothel, a stern-faced enchantress with sharp green eyes and fingers adorned with silver rings that clinked together when she moved. Mother Gothel visited every 3 days, standing at the base of the tower and calling up in her rasping voice, "Aurelia, Aurelia, let down your hair." And Aurelia would dutifully wind her braid around the iron hook beside the window and lower it down, feeling the painful tug on her scalp as Mother Gothel climbed up, hand over hand, using the golden rope of hair as if it were the most natural ladder in the world. Aurelia's days followed a rhythm as predictable as the seasons. She would wake with the dawn, brush her hair, a task that took nearly an hour, tend to the small herb garden she kept in wooden boxes on her windowsill, read from the handful of books Mother Gothel had provided, and paint. Oh, how she loved to paint. Her small room was covered with her artwork, landscapes imagined from the limited view her window provided, portraits of birds that landed on her sill, abstract swirls of color that represented her emotions. She had no formal training, only the brushes and paints Mother Gothel had grudgingly brought her years ago when Aurelia's constant questions and restlessness had become unbearable. "Why can't I leave the tower?" Aurelia had asked countless times throughout her 18 years. Mother Gothel's answer never varied. "The world is cruel, child, filled with thieves, liars, and those who would use you for your gifts. Your hair holds magic, healing magic, and there are those who would cut it from your head without a second thought. I keep you here because I love you, because you are safe here." But lately, Aurelia had begun to doubt. Love didn't feel like this, like a cage, like loneliness that echoed off stone walls. On the eve of her 19th birthday, everything changed. Part 3. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of amber and rose, when Aurelia heard something unusual. The sound of hoofbeats, frantic and fast, followed by men's voices shouting in the distance. She pressed her face against the window, her heart hammering with a mixture of fear and excitement. Through the trees, she glimpsed movement. A figure on horseback burst into the clearing around her tower, a young man in torn clothing, his dark hair wild around his face. Behind him, she could hear the pursuers getting closer. The man looked up, and their eyes met. Even from this distance, Aurelia could see the desperation in his face. He dismounted in one fluid motion, slapped his horse's flank to send it running in another direction, and then did something that shocked her. He began to climb the tower wall, using the ivy as handholds. Aurelia watched, frozen, as he climbed with impressive agility, despite what appeared to be an injury to his shoulder. His pursuers crashed into the clearing just as he reached a narrow ledge about 20 feet up, pressing himself into a shadowed alcove in the
Each climb
stonework.
harder than the
The
last,
men
but
below,
she's
palace
worth it,
guards,
my
by the
precious
look of their
flower.
uniforms, searched the area, then followed the sound of the horse's hoofbeats into the forest. After what felt like an eternity, silence returned. The stranger remained still for several minutes before attempting to climb higher. Aurelia could see that his strength was fading, could see the dark stain of blood spreading across his shoulder. She made a decision that would change everything. "Wait there," she called down, her voice startling him so much he nearly lost his grip. "I'll help you." Before she could think better of it, before fear could stop her, Aurelia wound her hair around the hook and lowered it down. The man stared at the golden rope for a moment, then grabbed it with his good hand. The weight was tremendous, far more than Mother Gothel's, and Aurelia cried out with the pain of it. But she braced herself against the window frame and held on. Inch by agonizing inch, the stranger climbed. By the time he tumbled through her window, both of them collapsed on the floor, breathing hard. "You're bleeding," Aurelia said, recovering